So this first item I sold this week was a Nintendo 2DS with two Pokemon games. Always look out for Pokemon games, Nintendo in general, very good brand to sell. So I sold this for $90 via Facebook Marketplace shipping. And this is the kind of the order that is displayed after someone buys your item on Facebook Marketplace. I always charge shipping to my buyers when they buy my item, so they cover the shipping. There is a small, like 5% seller fee on Facebook Marketplace, which is actually quite good compared to most e-commerce website selling fees. And I want to put on the screen here, this is actually where I got the item. This is the ad that the seller had listed when I bought it. I bought this the previous week on Facebook Marketplace. I had the seller ship it to me. She was actually asking $35 for this bundle of games. I offered her $45 to ship them to my house, and she agreed. I paid her with PayPal goods and services, which gave me buyer protection, and I actually paid with a credit card. I usually buy my items through PayPal with a credit card so that I can pick up some credit card reward points along with that. This next deal was a good one. It was a GameCube bundle, again, that I got on Facebook that I had shipped to me for $80 total. Ended up getting this, and I sorted out all of the average games, like the lesser valued games with the GameCube, sold that as a bundle. Locally, I had someone pick it up for $80 cash, so sold that and got all of my initial investment back. And then I sold the 4 good games on Facebook Marketplace shipping for $165, so very good flip. Okay, this next item I sold was actually a Tesla car charger. So you'll notice a recurring theme in these videos. I try to sell kind of more expensive items from name brands, Tesla, Lego, Nintendo, Bose, Nest, etc. These items have the best resale value, usually because they have a very good following and they have a high initial retail price. So here's the listing that I sold this charger on. This was a local sale for me. I had someone come to my house and pick this up from me for $500. He was actually a business owner. He owns a car detailing business, and he ended up buying this charger from me for $500. And then I want to show the ad where I bought it from. I had this item shipped to me from several states over. I think this was like 1,000 miles away. I can't remember. I'm in Texas. This lady might have been in Illinois or something like that. But she had it listed for initially $300, dropped it to $270, and I ended up offering $290 to have it shipped. There was a little bit of a delay before she accepted it. She was like, "Let me check on the shipping cost." This was a big item, guys. I'm gonna show a picture actually when I had it delivered to my house, like how big this item actually was. It was like 4 feet tall, but it sold very quickly. I ended up grossing $210 profit on this one. All right, so this next item I sold was a brand new sealed 3rd generation Nest thermostat. This was an item I had shipped to me from, I actually can't remember. I don't really remember where all these items come from. I just kind of look all over the country and have them shipped to me. You can see here this was the marketplace order that was placed. I sold it for $150 plus shipping that the buyer paid. I found this item on Facebook Marketplace in another state for $75 and had the seller agree to ship it to me for $87. So I paid $12 shipping on my end. And so you can see here, this is the conversation I had with the seller. You can see they initially say, "I'm not sure how to do that." That's not uncommon when you're asking people to ship on Facebook Marketplace. A lot of people, when they sell on Facebook, they're kind of intending to make it a local sale, pickup only. But if I can come in and offer them kind of an instant offer that's maybe higher than what they're getting locally, they're willing to go through the extra trouble to ship it, especially if I'm covering shipping. But to be honest with you, most people will say no to shipping on Facebook Marketplace if they didn't intend to ship it, initially. But the reason I still persist with this kind of casting a wide net approach and looking throughout the entire country is because I make much more money this way, and I'm able to do this entirely from home. If I can find 20 deals in a day and get, 15 people reject me, that's still 5 deals. That might be much better than what I can get in just my local zip code. If I get, maybe 1 or 2 deals in my zip code, even if there's less people rejecting me locally. So this method I've found works extremely well. Okay, this next one was another really good one. It was a bundle of Nintendo 64 games and accessories. So you'll notice this picture here. This is the ad I bought this from on Facebook. Notice how I actually had to like lay several pictures over one another just to put everything in the picture. This guy ended up having tons of stuff that wasn't in his main photo. Whenever you guys make a listing, try to make everything that you have in the main photo, because if you conceal all your other valuable items in the following photos, you're not going to get that traffic that just looks at the main photo to realize how much value you actually have. He actually even had accessories that weren't in this listing and he ended up sending to me. So it was 13 N64 games total, and then a bunch of N64 accessories. So you can see the seller is asking $40 here. I ended up having to pay him $70 to have this shipped to me FedEx. And the first thing I did was I kind of separated out the 9 lowest priced games, bundled them together, sold those by themselves for $100. So just off of those 9 games, I'm already $30 in gross profit. So I ended up selling Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is a very popular, rare Nintendo 64 game. This thing was super vintage, still had the Blockbuster rental sticker on it, for $75 on Facebook Marketplace shipping by itself. And then I ended up selling the 2 Zelda games. 2 Zelda games by themselves went for $75 additionally. And then the accessories that he sent me, this was like a Game Shark attachment and a Rumble Pack and a couple of other things. These sold for $50 plus shipping by themselves. And then finally I sold the Donkey Kong game. Donkey Kong is another good name. Holds its value pretty well. $25 plus shipping by itself. So that was a very good deal. Okay, this next one was another video game listing that I found on Facebook Marketplace. First of all, guys, I just want you to look at this listing. This is the kind of listing that you should generally look out for. A listing where there's very little effort put into it. I mean, these video games are just, they're smattered across the floor. Some of the items aren't even in frame. But if you zoom in here, I'll show you there's one game here that is worth $85 by itself. This is the Pokemon Black 2 game. So I ended up paying this seller $80. He was asking $50. I paid him $80 to have all this shipped to me, knowing that I would recover my initial investment just off of that Pokemon game. And you can see I sold it here for $85 on Facebook Marketplace shipping. And then everything else is profit. So I ended up bundling the game console, the Nintendo DS, along with 3 of the lower priced games together for $49. It didn't have a charger with it, so I probably could have gotten, maybe $55-$60 with the charger, but didn't have a charger, so I ended up getting $49 for that. Remember, that's pure profit. And then I bundled the 2 other Pokemon DS games together for $25 as a bundle on Facebook Marketplace shipping. So that was, again, pure profit. And then the Pokemon Red, the Pokemon Fire Red game turned out to be authentic, which was very nice. Got $44 on top of everything else for that Facebook Marketplace shipping. So all in all, cleared $200 gross revenue on this from $80 investment, so very good. So the next item I sold, this was a Lego GT3 911 RS, brand new sealed Lego set. Sold it for $550 plus shipping on eBay. This was another item I had delivered to me or dropped off to me on Facebook Marketplace. This was actually a local purchase I made. I asked her if she would be willing to drop this off to me for some extra money. She lived about 40 minutes from me, and she declined and just said, no, I'll drop it off. I think she was happy to, just get full price for her item. And so we ended up meeting at a restaurant just in front of my house, walked outside, paid her $300 and got the item, sold on eBay very quickly. Okay, the next item I sold was a $350 plus shipping Nintendo Switch bundle on Facebook Marketplace. You can see this was my sale here and the order that was placed. And this was another item I had shipped to me on Facebook. I ended up paying $210 total to have this shipped to me. The seller was asking $200, paid her $210. It was shipped to me. Everything was in very good condition. Chose to sell it as a bundle just to have less listings, less work. You can get a little bit more if you split these games up and sell the console by itself, but very nice flip, very easy, $140 gross profit. All right, the next item I sold this week was a Game Boy Micro bundle. So these Game Boy Micros go for very good money. Keep an eye out for them because they, for some reason, they've really held their value. I guess they're pretty rare. This one came with a bunch of games, including some Pokemon games. So when I first saw this listing for sale, I was very excited. I saw these Pokemon games. You guys need to learn that Pokemon games go for very good money most of the time, especially these Game Boy games. These turned out to actually be counterfeit games. So I initially had offered $170 for the seller to ship this to me. And then I zoomed in, and I've gotten pretty good at telling fake from real Pokemon games. Noticed they were fake, and I was like, I got to pull this back a little bit. It might not be worth that much. So ended up saying, if I just pay $150 total, would you ship it to me? And he said yes. He dropped it off at the post office. I got it a few days later and ended up selling it on eBay for $239.99 plus shipping. So decent flip. Again, never left my house, had this shipped to me, shipped it out. So this next item I sold was a Cosmo Anki toy robot. It's kind of like an educational toy robot for older kids. I ended up getting this one from Los Angeles, actually. Sold it on eBay for $149.99 plus shipping. Here's the sale that I had, and then this is, I'll show the ad of where I got it. I got it on Facebook from this lady here, and she ended up shipping it to me for $85. And, you know, again, this is all with PayPal goods and services where I have buyer protection. Occasionally you have situations, you know, I'd say like 5 to 10% of the time when you're doing this, the item just doesn't show up. The seller either forgets to ship it, or they don't know how to ship it, or, you know, rarely they're just trying to disappear with the money and like scam me. But this is why you go with PayPal goods and services, because you can show that, you know, hey, they never shipped it, there's no tracking number, and PayPal will close the case in your favor and return your money. So, you know, a decent flip here, ended up grossing $65. Okay, so the next 3 items I sold were all from one purchase I made. This is kind of a random assortment of items. I had an AirPods Pro charging case only. This is just the Apple charging case for the AirPods Pro. So like if you lose one, it's a replacement. And then the other 2 were iPods, iPod Nanos, 6th generation, 7th generation. Apple is an amazing brand to resell. They have really like a cult-like following, and they have really high retail prices. So people are always looking to save on retail on Apple. So I got all 3 of these items. I ended up negotiating with the seller for $103 shipped. And then you can see here I ended up grossing $160 in revenue. So like $57 gross profit. Not bad. I was hoping to do a little bit better on this one, but $57 is not bad, just for some extra money in your pocket. And so as you can see, again, this deal was purchased and sold on Facebook Marketplace without actually leaving my house. So very, very nice way to flip items. All right, so that's it for this first video, guys. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. If you're still curious about kind of some of the nitty-gritty details of what go into this and how to actually find these deals, I did make a course on Udemy that I can link below in the description, but I will continue to make free videos on this channel. So please thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss another video. See you guys in the next one.